So we're going to welcome Paul from the Countdown Movie and TV Reviews back into the live stream. He hasn't been here since this morning.
Earlier this morning,
earlier this afternoon, he was on here for us to kick off the live stream. And now we're going to welcome him back for our top 10 View Askew characters. Anybody that wants to hang out and just be on the air with us is more than welcome to be here. Chris from Buds, Beers, and Brutality, unfortunately, he was not able to stick around for this segment and come on live with us because he, like I said, he unfortunately just had, I think his wife's dad had some medical issue. I forget what the tweet said. I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly what it said. But yeah, all the best to her, Chris. I do hope all the best to him, I should say. To your wife's father, I do hope that he recovers quickly. And we're sorry that you couldn't join us. Paul, welcome back.
Yeah, sending all of our love.
Morning all, well, afternoon, evening all for you guys. How are we, and how is the live stream?
How are you feeling,
going?
That's how it is in here. It's Loy sauce.
Loy sauce just destroyed the movie quote trivia game. So,
ooh, the god of podcasting coming through and living up to his name.
That is true. Did
you get some good sleep, Paul?
Definitely proved himself worthy of that title.
I got enough sleep to be Copus Mentis now.
So you drank before you went to bed. Now I'm expecting you to drink as soon as you wake up. You're doing that, right?
Sure, if you count drinking water. Yes, I am.
As long as you put some vodka in that water, yes, we can count that.
You're gonna need to get with the program. We can't have you just sitting there sipping on water. What is this? What is this?
At 9 o'clock in the morning? No, definitely not.
Oh my lord!
You should be having a craft beer at 9 a.m.
This segment is a little tailored to Paul's tastes. He and his co-host Wayne on the Countdown Movie and TV Reviews every single week. They count down lists, mostly movies, sometimes television, in order of awesomeness, so you don't have to make the tough decisions about what to watch next. You can tell I listen to your show all the fucking time. Jesus Christ.
That sounds familiar.
It does sound
like
familiar.
90-10 movies, though. It's like 90-10 movies.
It is, yeah. There's a TV episode like once every 15, 20 episodes.
When somebody on the show goes, shit, we should review something from TV.
Aren't we called the Countdown Movie and TV Reviews podcast? Like, what the fuck? Oh my god, yeah, absolutely fantastic show. Definitely our favorite here over at the Epic Film Guys. You guys are beautiful, and we love you.
Thank you. It's very, very kind. Very, very kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I had my way, there'd be even less TV episodes. But sometimes you can't win everything.
That's because Wayne. You get tired of Wayne calling you a cunt, and you just give in to him.
Pretty much it.
There you go. All right. So this is going to be our top 10 View Askewniverse characters. So this is characters from the Kevin Smith universe. All right. This is the connected universe from Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and Clerks 2. Not Yoga Hosers, not Tusk, not whatever the fuck else.
Red State.
Yeah, Red State. Yeah, toss all that shit. Jersey Boy or Jersey Girl, whatever the hell. Toss all that shit out. Just the View.
Stop or my mom will shoot.
God damn it, Shane. Paul, since this is your bag, I mean, it's just what you do week in and week out. I'm going to let you go ahead and lead things off with your number 10.
Well, I did say to you early on the pre-roll before we officially started the stream that I had a lot of trouble with 10 characters, and so Dan Brennick, yeah, there he is, his voice in the background there. Director Brennick helpfully suggested I could include him as my number 10. So my number 10 character from the View Askew universe is Dan Brennick, because I could not find 10 that I actually like.
You couldn't find 10 characters you actually like.
Wow. That's correct. And even then I had to stretch. My number 9 is a huge stretch. So I'm just going to kick it straight on over to whoever is going next.
Well, we'll kick it to Shane. We'll do Shane, yeah.
My number 10, if I'm picking out of the View universe, has to be the Metatron. It just as soon as you see him in Dogma, from that point forward, every time you see, Jesus, I can't think of it. I'm going to say Al Franken, and I know that's not his name.
It's Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman. That's what I was sitting here going, Alan. I was on the path, but anyway, his character's just fucking hilarious. I grew up in the church, so seeing a guy like Alan Rickman play an angel and talk about how anatomically correct he is and shit like that was just hilarious for me. So number 10's got to be the Metatron for me.
Oh, I love the Metatron. Actually, coming up on my list as well. Thank you very much, Bill Dozer. I love you. I love you so much. Thank you, Bulldozer, for your donation. We're not 45% of the way to our goal. We're going to keep pushing, keep pushing here. Hopefully we can make up some ground here.
Give us some goddamn money, people.
Yeah, give us some goddamn money. What the hell? All right, yeah, the Metatron, absolutely on my list as well. It's Alan Rickman. I mean, how can you not love Alan Rickman? He plays the part so well, and you're right, like the scene when they're describing, like he's anatomically correct, he actually whips his pants down and shows you that he's got no genitals. Oh, my God. Fantastic. I love that character. My number 10 character is a little bit more of a bit character, though. You only see him show up in Mallrats, really. I mean, most of these characters do make a cameo appearance in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, but we won't worry about that. This is Willem from Mallrats. And Willem's just the guy that's trying to see the Magic Eye poster the entire time in the movie. And he never sees it.
Those things either.
Yeah, and eventually he just gets so frustrated with the goddamn thing, and kicks the picture over, and eventually kicks the stage rigging or whatever that gives Silent Bob the tape that he needs. But yeah, I love his character just because he's just like a perpetual loser, and like all these little kids are coming up and being like, "Oh, it's a sailboat," or what? Wait, the one little kid says it's a schooner, and then he's like, "You dumb bastard! It's not a schooner; it's a sailboat. A schooner is a sailboat. Stupid head." Oh my God! Yeah, that's my number 10. I love Willem. I think he's absolutely hilarious.
Okay, so I think it's Paul.
Back to Paul. Yep, for number 9.
Jeez, did you run a show where you do a top 10? You know how this works. Come on.
I've heard of it before. Yes. All right. So my number 9 is from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and get used to that statement because a lot of mine are from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, which is basically Kevin Smith's wrap up of his whole View Askew universe and bringing everyone back together for one last giggle fest of in-jokes. This is, however, the one time this man appears in his universe, and it is Will Ferrell playing Marshall Willenholly, pursuing them throughout the film. Yeah. He has some pretty funny scenes, including when he actually believes that the two of them are a family and their monkey is a little kid, and he lets them get out of the diner when he has them all cornered, telling everyone else to stand down, which does make me laugh every single time before we get our fugitive scene/reference.
Oh my God, yeah, I love that.
I love Will and Holly. Everything about his character is fucking hilarious. I mean, you've also got everybody around him who's just, it's not a monkey, okay? It's part of the great ape family. It's everybody around him like takes that character and makes it just so much more ridiculous by the way they treat him. It's so awesome.
Yeah, it didn't make my list, unfortunately. He got whittled off in the end process when I was trying to whittle out into my actual top 10. But yeah, I love that character. I absolutely love that character. And I think Will Ferrell is just great. A lot of people like to hate on him, but I absolutely love Will Ferrell. So yeah, good pick.
Thank you. And I'm just laughing at your choice of GIF again in the live stream.
I had to put the boner back up, man. I had to put the weather boner back up.
My number 9 is going back to Clerks, the original View Askew universe.
Yeah.
That's my absolute favorite out of all of them if I had to pick one. But my number 9 is Veronica, the no-nonsense Jersey girlfriend that is with Dante, that every guy, at least most of my guy friends, have had this moment in their life where there's the hot chick that is toxic for you, and then there's the sensible chick who brings you lasagna at work chick. And most of my guy friends, including myself at one point in our life, have made the wrong fucking choice and went for the hot chick who's toxic. And just looking at that character, she's so awesome because the very first time you see her, when she like breaks down the cigarette mob with the fire extinguisher and shit like that, and she say, "Who's leading this mob?" That whole fucking scene, like that girl, it just takes advantage of this entire scene and just fills it.
Hey, try not to suck any dick on the way through the parking lot.
Even if she has sucked 37 dicks.
At the same time?
She sets up that entire little fucking exchange between the two of them is perfect throughout that entire scene.
You sucked his dick!
Oh my God. Well, I mean, that's my number 9 is going to fit perfectly right in with that then, because my number 9, and some people are going to give me shit because it's low. I don't care. It is Dante Hicks, Brian O'Halloran's character from the first 2 Clerks films. Yeah, I love Clerks. I think it's an absolutely fantastic movie. I put Dante just a little bit further down on this list because he's basically just a whiny bitch the whole movie.
Yeah.
God, he does
He
not
is.
stop complaining about how I'm not even supposed to be here today. And I mean, granted, that's the whole bent of the movie, and I love all of that stuff about it. But the character, just as a character, just like if you remove all that iconography from it, he's so fucking grating. And like, oh goddamn, I'm not even supposed to be here. To God, shut the fuck up. Oh my god,
That's pretty much.
Love Brian O'Halloran though. I love him, and I love all the little bit characters because he plays different relatives of Dante in other Kevin Smith movies. He plays one in Dogma, plays one in Mallrats. So, you know, at the same time, you suck 37 dicks.
This is different. This is important.
At the same time, it's actually Randall just swaggered in, and he's like, "Can you believe she sucked 37 dicks?"
Yeah,
and he's
yep.
like, "At the same time." Oh, that's it. Yeah, in a row.
Oh my god!
I agree about Dante. He's on my list, and he's a little high though because that I wasn't even supposed to be here today is a line that I've used probably more than several times in my life.
Million
so that really
times.
record.
Every time he has to record with Wayne.
Yeah, there you go, 112 times.
There you go. All right, back to you for your number 8.
So my number 8 is the first character we're mentioning from Chasing Amy, and it's giving Banky Edwards a little bit of love, as played by Jason Lee, so Holden's best mate and constant advice provider. I don't even have him any higher on the list because he's a bit of a dick and quite a lot of a homophobic, but although that is eventually revealed to be a huge front if you've seen all the way through to the end of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. There is some pretty cool moments between him and Holden back and forthing over Amy, and I don't remember any specific lines off the top of my head, but I do quite enjoy Jason Lee as an actor, and it's a pity that he kind of disappeared off the face of the earth at some stage after My Name is Earl.
I agree 100%. I thought his character, like everything he played during the View Askew universe was great, but I like him overall. And it just seemed weird that a guy who was that, I mean, he did kind of have the same Nicolas Cage disease where he played the same guy every time, but he was so good, at like getting his point across when he was an actor, like when he's sitting down and drawing Santa Claus and then the nice man-loving lesbian, and then like he's drawing all that shit out and he's explaining it all to Banky or into Holden in the movie. It's so perfect the way he puts it together because they don't fucking exist. That's why. I love his character all the way through. He just had such presence, but like you said, he is kind of a cock, and he's just basically there to be the foil for all the good ideas that Holden has.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest right up front and say that no characters from Chasing Amy made my list. Although I love the movie, I think it's a fantastic movie, but I find all of the lead characters, all 3 of them, to be fucking reprehensible. And I know that's the entire point, but yeah, no, I just couldn't put any of them on my list because of that.
You don't like Holden? You don't like Holden's character too?
I love all their characters. Don't get me wrong. I love their characters. I love the movie, but I find all of their characters reprehensibly shitty in one way or another. Like they're all shitty to at least one of the other 3, if not both, at different points in the movie. So that's why I left them all off of my list.
Jeez, you'd have a hard time finding any list of Kevin Smith characters if you just use that as a criteria.
Yeah, pretty much. But hey, whatever. I love Chasing Amy, though. It's easily one of Smith's best films that he ever did. And definitely one of his most, like best character arcs and best kind of overall plot arc. It's an excellent movie. But yeah, God, those characters are reprehensible fucks. Oh my God!
I thought it was kind of maturity for his for the View Askew universe. It finally allowed you to see what Kevin Smith was like when you get past the dick and fart jokes. What his actual vision of that universe was. I think that was the first time it was fully realized. And then obviously you go back to the slapstick shit like, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. But I think that was the first time that Hollywood in general saw Kevin Smith in a different light than just dick and fart jokes.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. Because you think of Clerks and Mallrats before that. They were legitimately just nothing but dick and fart jokes.
Basically, discussions of the Death Star.
Mallrats literally opens with a joke about whacking off on an airplane. So, I mean, Yeah. Oh my God.
So are we up to my number 8?
We're up to your number 8. Yes.
We are.
My number 8 is Snowball from Clerks. I love that character. If you know any of the lore about Clerks, you know that most of the character actors or the bit actors in the movie were a lot of Kevin Smith's friends, basically. And dude just basically gets to stand around in this movie and go, "That's beautiful, man." That's his whole character arc from beginning to end is just being this spaced out. And I know people like him. I've known people like him that I've worked with before that are just, you can tell that their brain checked out in their mid-20s and it never checked back in. And they have to live the rest of their life like that. And then the whole explanation between Veronica and Dante is so perfect after that. It's a blowjob thing. You know, he likes to have it spat back in his mouth.
Some guys get off on that.
You suck that guy's dick.
Oh my God. God, I've not watched enough of these movies, too many of these movies in a long time. It's been a while since I've seen a lot of them.
Clerks is one of those things like The Matrix and Fight Club for me, or Pulp Fiction. Like if I'm going past and I see it on, I stop. Like Ferris Bueller, it's one of those movies that I stop. Like, I'm watching it. Yeah, the original Mad Maxes, not the Cannonball Run meet.
Oh my God. All right, so let's go ahead and jump over to my number 8. Yes. My number 8 was already mentioned. It is the Metatron from Dogma, Alan Rickman's character. So we'll jump back over to Paul for number 7.
Well, you just got through mentioning there's no one from Chasing Amy in your list, Nick, and I've got my second and final Chasing Amy entrance, and it is Holden McNeil, as played by Ben Affleck. Yeah, look, I get where you're coming from, but he was kind of not what he was trying to do, which is ridiculous, but the idea of being in love with someone or wanting someone that you can't possibly have would probably strike a chord with most people out there, not everybody, but certainly did with me. I
definitely get that, yep.
And the fact that he could, I don't know, the fact the film goes in the direction it does and it doesn't cheapen out with this wonderfully sweet whatever ending works for me as well, and where his character ends up is it all works for me is what I'm basically trying to say.
Yes.
Even though he's a shitty businessman, he is a shit fucking businessman. That's the only thing I'll say about Holden McNeil. Okay, you didn't hold on to any of the Blunt Man and Chronic. You didn't hold, you didn't hold on to any of that. The entire comic is just gone. You gave it. What the fuck, dude? I got to think that Affleck would have more sense than that. But Holden, for some reason, his character, no sense at all.
Oh, my God. No,
look at these two morose. Look at these two morose motherfuckers right here.
Oh, that's actually perfect, Justin. I will throw that up on the live stream. Thank you very much.
There you go, buddy. I got to do something here. I hadn't even said a word this entire time, only because I know I'm not the Kevin Smith fan that all you guys are, and I definitely enjoy his films, but you got to put that up there.
That's perfect.
Put that up there right now. This is for you guys right now.
The progress bar for the live stream is blocking it. I'll actually move that for right now.
The fuck is the internet?
Oh, my God. That's actually perfect. Oh, my God. I love it. So over to Paul. Yes, Paul for your number 7.
That was my number 7. Holden McNeil as
Paul,
Ben Affleck. So over to Shane.
I think Shane.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
My number 7 is a combo. My number 7 is a combo. I went ahead and lumped two people together from Dogma. Bartleby and Loki were kind of they worked in tangent together, basically to move that entire plot along. And seeing two actors that are just absolutely at the apex of fame when Dogma comes out, that are willing to be like, you know what, Kevin Smith, we're buddies with you. We'll fucking come over and do your movie with you. Stuff like that just was awesome to see. And seeing them be so dramatically different than what you'd been used to seeing Ben Affleck and Matt Damon do was just mind-blowing to me. And the intro scene in Dogma when they're sitting there discussing the people in the fucking in the airport and shit like that is still one of the best scenes I've ever seen in the View Askew universe. It's got the best dialogue as they're sitting there talking back and forth to each other. So my number 7 is Bartleby and Loki.
All right. Yeah, I love Affleck and Damon in Dogma. I really love Dogma. I think Dogma's such a fantastic movie. Oh, it's such a good movie. Oh my God. I've got how many characters? I got a couple characters coming up from Dogma. yet.
I actually,
no, at least
I
one
actually
more.
want to go ahead and let you guys know that Will and Holly and Old Man from Clerks were both honorable mentions for the number 7 slot, because I looked at both of them and I was like, I don't know, that old man who gets his keys thrown away in Clerks is still that's one of the best gags throughout the entire movie. Forgot your keys.
Oh my god! Well, my number 7, and I will probably definitely cop shit for this. It is the other half of the Clerks 2 duo. It is Randall, played by Jeff Anderson, and like I said,
no.
At number 7.
At number 7, yeah, I love
What the
him.
fuck?
I love him, and I love
Fuck.
I love he and Dante's back and forth together. I love Clerks, and I actually love Clerks too. I think both of them are fantastic, but I really like number 1. You should know that my favorite Smith film by a country fucking mile is Mallrats. So my top 5 is like 3 Mallrats characters. All right, so we'll get that out of the way.
The Mallrats is the worst of all
Mallrats.
of them.
Mallrats is fucking brilliance defined. I fucking love it. But yeah, it's not that I don't love him. It's not like, look, it's a top. I'm gonna be Wayne for a fucking minute here, you cunts. It's a top 10 list. He's on the fucking list. What the fuck more do you want from me? I fucking love Randall. Randall's great. He's absolutely amazing. I love him. But yeah, that's where I ended up fitting him. Is in at number 7. I'll kick it back over to Paul.
Oh my god.
I'm speechless. This is what happens a lot on my show, as I have to deal with terrible calls from Wayne. I guess we'll let Nick slide just because he's been online for so long and his mind's a little bit frazzled now.
Exactly.
Even when he's not online for that long, even when he's online for like 30 minutes, he still needs to have that exception thrown at him. So being online all day is no exception.
I don't understand how you do it, Justin. I really don't.
Oh god, I hate you guys. I don't fucking care. Here, yeah, I got the big G in my corner.
Oh man, I need to get the soundboard set up at my end to get my external sound card working, so we
No,
can
you don't,
soundboard
'cause-
off.
no, please, I just wish that he would please.
All right, so we'll go
Trolls
over
me with
to
it every week.
Paul for his number
Yeah, it's
6.
still me. All right, so I'm going with your earlier mentioned Dante Hicks, as played by Brian O'Halloran here. So we straight through to Shane.
My number 6 is the group of assassins from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it's on my list.
How
Pretty
fucking
high.
hot is the scene when they're all in the leather and you flash over to them and it's just like, oh my god. And the thing that I hate to say is that Kevin Smith's wife was like the least hot of all of them, and I'm like, well, at least you're married
you've got
to the
Shannon
director, I
Elizabeth
guess.
in there. I mean, come on.
And then I don't remember the blonde chick's name, but I've loved her in every scene her in. And I'm just like, oh my god, this is. And the chick who was the leader, I don't remember her name either, but fucking, they're all just the assassin chicks. They're Shannon Elizabeth and all the assassin chicks is basically what I know them as.
Eliza Dushku. Yep.
Eliza Dushku.
Eliza Dushku is, and I know of her, but I know her name. But every time I see her, I'm like, I think I know who she is, but I don't know her name. But her attitude throughout the entire movie just made me want to grudge fuck the shit out of her. It was just like you just wanted to hold her head in a pillow and just do your business. So that's my number 6 is the assassin chicks.
Oh my god. Oh, I love it. And my number 6 is another character from Mallrats. I told you I fucking love the movie, and it's the asshole from Fashionable Male, son of a bitch. Yeah, Ben Affleck is Shannon. I fucking love that character. He's such a piece of shit.
I don't remember that bit.
Oh my god, he's just the giant asshole who wants to fuck Shannon Doherty in a place that's really uncomfortable. Well, like the back of a Volkswagen.
Volkswagen.
he's just a colossal cocksucker to Brody the entire movie. But I love like how much of an asshole. Like Affleck really makes that character like a colossal douchebag. You could not possibly hate a character more than you hate him because he's just such a dick. But I love like how well they played that to that effect in the movie. That's why, yeah, my number 6. I can't say anything more about it than that.
All right. Well, I guess that's then me for the top half of the list, and I'm leading it off.
That's for your side, Shane.
I'm leading off strong with Mark Hamill playing himself / cock knocker.
Yeah,
Jay and Silent Bob.
Also on my list.
That's an honorable mention for
Fucking
me.
great mention.
Holy shit! Where the fuck did John come from?
John is there.
Woo! What's up?
Holy shit.
What's
I just
going
slipped
on?
my ass on in there.
Oh my god. Well, fine. All right.
Oh, what a comment.
Yeah. Damn. All right. So yeah, I love this character. Yes, he's also on my list.
That character shows every time I've seen them, it shows like the versatility of Mark Hamill, because he very quickly realized that he was never going to be a monstrous actor as Mark Hamill in Hollywood anymore, and he went to do the voice acting and all the shit that he did, and he's basically the Joker in everything that you've seen him in. If you see the Joker talking, it's usually Mark Hamill talking for him, but that movie just showed you how much of a sense of humor he has about himself, and it just every time I see that movie, I'm just like, dude, he is so fun, because you'd never see Harrison Ford playing that character. You'd never see somebody like Tommy Lee Jones making that much fun of themselves. And this is one of the most iconic characters in all of fucking history, making like a complete ass of himself in this movie. Yeah. Loved it.
Oh my, yeah, it's an absolutely fantastic character. Like I said, he definitely makes my list as well. And I'll be 100% honest, he's on my list for one simple reason. Don't fuck with the Jedi Master, son.
Oh, not again.
Yes.
Oh my god.
So that's my number 5?
That's nice, man. That's fucking beautiful.
Man, Mark Hamill is the live action MacGyver didn't immediately rocket him back to stardom.
Damn, shut up.
So we're up to my number 5, right?
Yeah. Yes.
My number 5 is Banky. I have him much higher on my list than you guys, and I do think he is a fucking ass of a person. I think Banky is an absolute shit person, but that's the reason why the character is as high up on the list as he is, because at certain points you find yourself rooting for him and thinking he's a pretty good guy, but then you find out that he's really just a homophobic dick, and he pulls off the character so well. It was very believable, and I think it was very crucial to the way that the arc moved in Chasing Amy.
Makes sense to me.
Am I talking
so apparently,
to myself?
meanwhile, while we're talking over in the live chat, apparently it has been announced that the Hopester, our filthy, drunk, dirty piece of shit Hopester, has been hit by a car and is in critical condition, and Director Brennick said that we can only hope, and I have to absolutely agree with that. Yes, we can only hope. Oh, now Justin's typing as the Hopester over in the... God damn it.
No, that's not me. Nick, he may have come on and hacked the Epic Film on the live stream. Maybe he's smart enough to do that now. He's come and watched me doing this many times as we were doing the live stream on the podcast, so in the next 15, 20 minutes, I have a feeling he's going to be moseying his way up here from the dumpster behind Dead Mind's bar and that McDonald's.
Lock your fucking door. Lock the door to the balcony, too, because we know he likes to climb up there. Oh, God. All right, well, my number 5. We better speed through this then, I guess.
It's been clean recently.
He's coming, man.
He's going to go swimming, he's going to bathe in there, then he's going to be...
I don't even know, man. All right, my number 5, and I could not pass through this list without putting my favorite stand-up comedian of all time on this fucking list. That is George Carlin as Cardinal Glick in fucking Dogma. It's number 1.
Yes.
Just the idea of casting George Carlin of all fucking people to play a Catholic cardinal is hilarious. If you know anything about George Carlin's stand-up, and he's so fucking funny in the fucking.
You gotta follow the rules. The rules of the road.
Oh my god. I almost put that character on the list as well, but I was like, no, I'll only pick one Carlin character from a Smith film. So I went with Cardinal Glick. Like I said, it's just the genius of the casting alone, and then fucking Carlin.
We present to you the Buddy Christ.
Oh my god.
The Buddy Christ is still like I have a friend who's actually Jewish that when I was still playing in bands and playing drums and stuff like that, we played her birthday party and we had it at like an actual concert and everything like that. And I almost used a picture of the Buddy Christ with a caption below it that read Atlanta's other favorite Jew, because she was like really big in the music scene. But my wife was like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. She's like, everybody else doesn't know you.
So Shane's wife keeping him out of trouble for how many years now?
Yeah, 15. This is 15 years this year. So.
There you go. Congratulations, Shane. All right. So back over to Paul for your number 4.
All right. Well, my number 4 is arguably low. I think some people are going to have them maybe at their number 1, but this is as high as I could stick Jay and Silent Bob themselves, Jason Mewes and Kevin Smith. They are obviously the through line of this entire universe, but Jay really shits me at times. So as much as they are funny and their antics drive the plot, and we could do everything from their theme song that at the start of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Is anyone familiar with that one? Jay's little song while he's dealing drugs.
Yeah.
Fuck, motherfucker, fuck.
Yeah, that's the one.
Fuck, motherfucker. Noise.
Motherfucker, fuck. That's it. Which
Who
remains
smokes the blunts? We smoked the blunts.
Smoked the blunts. Rolling
some weed. We got some weed. Smoking the weed. Selling the blunts.
Could go down on
Bucks,
you,
little man. Put
suck
that shit
you.
in my hand.
Ew. I hate dudes.
And I agree with you, Paul. That's why I actually split the two of them up on my list. Silent Bob is also my number 4.
Yeah, they're split up for me.
I love Jay. I absolutely love Jason Mewes. He's in an honorable mention for me. But yeah, his character gets really grating. It depends on the movie too, because in some movies I find him far more acceptable than others. But yeah, he really grates on me sometimes. So I actually split them, and I put Silent Bob at my number 4 because for all the reasons you said. I mean, they are the through line of the universe. And
did you just say that Jason Mewes isn't on your list?
He's on my honorable mentions. Yeah.
Boo! Come on now.
Who pushed?
I like that boo.
Who pushed that button?
I like that boo, even though I'm not in this, because it's not like a boo. It's more like a boo.
Yeah, it's more like you can tell it's booing booing Nick. It's not booing like the choice as much as just booing Nick.
Caleb loves Hell or High Watermelon. Ask Caleb how much he loves Hell or High Watermelon.
You, Pikel, you're a piece of shit.
It's probably not that much. All right, we go over to Shane for your number 4.
My number 4 is Dante, simply because the very first time I saw Clerks, I was working shit jobs at the time, and I fucking hated my life when it came to like having to show up at fast food restaurants and getting a phone call at like 2:00 in the afternoon saying, "Hey, can you come in at 4? We need some extra people tonight." And when you're a poor fucking kid, of course you can come in at 4. So there were plenty of times that I found myself at work going, "I'm not supposed to be here today," and I immediately identified with the character, no matter how bitchy he was. And I thought. His character, the way that he just had one of those every fucking thing that could go wrong is going to go wrong today sort of things.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, he was just fine with it. Everything was fine because he was finally going to get to fuck Caitlin, and that's all that mattered to him. Who can forget that fucking terrible sweater he wore at the end?
Oh my god! Oh my god, the sweater. Oh,
What was that goddamn sweater at the end that he was wearing? I mean, what the hell?
Oh my god!
And he was dressed up to go on a date in that sweater.
You got to imagine that they didn't have any budget for wardrobe in this film, so they just brought something from home.
They had no budget.
That was his sweater he brought from home, probably.
Well, this is what I would wear on a date, so it makes sense.
Are you sure? Because that explains a lot, man.
Oh my god!
That's what I would have said.
You like that? You want me to cut to 3 weeks earlier when you were alive?
My number.
I wish
4
I could.
Is Jay and Silent Bob, as I mentioned previously. So we'll jump to Paul for your number 3. I get way too much of a kick out of my own soundboard. I know I do.
That's the reason soundboards exist, so their operators can laugh and everyone else can go, "Why?"
Years old. I am divorced, and I live in a van down by the river.
Where is that from?
That is Chris Farley from Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
Fucking down by the river. Sorry. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, no, good. My number 3 has been mentioned by you, Shane. It's a great call. The International Jewel Thieves. So you mentioned the girls themselves and how fetching they were in their outfits there, back and forth. It's great. And Shannon Elizabeth with the jewel thief with a heart of gold, who of course falls for the amazingly attractive and stable and promising Jay.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Yeah. So she must just be amazing.
Let's just take a second and remember Shannon Elizabeth in American Pie. First saw her.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, you gonna eat that sausage?
Hey, man, she
Exactly.
still looks great. Honestly, I saw her at a convention not that long ago, and she still looks in very great shape. She looks fantastic. So
Yeah, she's one of those chicks that's maintained all the way through. She's never been like, "Oh, I'm famous now. I can go." No, she still got it going on.
I mean, she's not really famous anymore. She's still making her money from just, comic book and movie conventions. But the reality is she still looks great in her face. She's keeping herself well. She's in great physical shape, and she's so nice to the fans. So I got to give her that much.
That's awesome.
She's way more famous than we are, though.
If that says something, I guess.
She's famous. Yeah. She's famous in my head. I'll tell you that much.
Hey, man, she's famous from fucking Jack Frost. Okay, there you go. Go watch that. The shower.
Can I mention one bit from their feature in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, which you didn't mention, Shane? That is their pretty cool scene, I have to admit, when they getting through the alarm system and all the laser rays, and the three of them each do their thing and flip through and jump through all the laser rays, and when they get to the end, Alilada lands this posture, and then she farts super loud and sets off the alarm. Yeah. Fuck, that was funny. That was hilarious. I know it's immature, but it worked for me, that joke.
And every time you see it too, you're just like, y'all girls eating that? Fast food makes girls fart, right? Every time I see it, I'm just like, and that scene along with the fucking from that same movie when the Scooby-Doo, when they make the Scooby-Doo reference, that shit, every time I watch it, I just die laughing. They were on my honorable mention list, the Scooby-Doo gang, like the Mystery Machine gang. I was like, perhaps, because if this were
a top 10 most memorable Kevin Smith View Askewniverse moments, that would have to be on that list.
Oh, absolutely.
So good.
One of the greatest.
So good.
Let's take his kidneys and leave him in a skeezy motel.
Oh my god.
So we're up to my number 3.
Your number 3, yep.
My number 3 is Silent Bob. I know we've already mentioned him. Paul, you don't. For some reason, you have him way low on your list. For me, I'm giving
number 4.
You had them combined, which I thought was like, what? How can you combine both of those characters? And the reason
they're never apart.
True, they aren't. But for me, Jay has his own. He has his own thing that he's doing. Kevin Smith, I thought, I give him a lot of credit, like I did Johnny Depp when he did Edward Scissorhands, for the reason that you have to get 90% of the stuff that Kevin Smith does throughout these movies, you have to get from his facial expressions. And he does a great job emoting throughout the movie. And yes, some of it is over the top. And no, we're not talking like Oscar-worthy performances, but he does a great job with conveying this great relationship with Jay, where you can tell that he's kind of like, at one point he calls him his hetero life partner. Hetero life mate. And he's like, you can tell like he's in this shitty role with Jay, and he knows he's in this shitty friendship, but the two of them are on this path and he's making the best of it. And I love the way he plays the character and how he has that one wrapping up line, that one kind of, the JD moment from Scrubs kind of thing, where he has that one line per show or per movie where he wraps it all up and gives you what the actual point of the entire movie is. I just love the way the character works. And I'm also giving Kevin Smith a little bit of character, because without his brain and him maxing out his credit cards and doing all the shit he had to do to make the original Clerks movie, we wouldn't have had to deal with this. Now, by the same token, we wouldn't have had some of the shitty movies that he's made either, like Tusk and all that. But
definitely true.
For the View Askew universe, we get a lot of I've gotten a lot of laughs out of this, and these are movies as well. Like if Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is on and it flashes by me, I'm definitely stopping and watching it, depending on where it's at in the movie.
Oh, I totally agree. Pretty much one of my favorite comedies of all time. That movie is just an absolute blast from start to finish.
Yes, yeah, I absolutely agree. And my number 3 to follow right in line with that was the Cockknocker from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I love that character, and I love Mark Hamill, so that's why I popped him so high on the list. So over to Paul for your number 2 business end here.
Well, it is, and this is a little bit part, but he made it his own again. It's from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, so I'm sorry for my strong representation of that film in this universe, but it's Chris Rock playing director Shaka Luther King, the angry man who is taking out all his annoyances of the world on the poor folk around him. Some of his lines from those scenes are just gold.
you think about making that movie now. Like, think about being in a theater and that movie being made now, and just the ire you would feel from the audience. The temperature would go up in the room from how mad people were.
Oh, yeah. Well, with some of those lines, like, do you know that I came up with the idea for Sesame Street? I came up with it before PBS. The white man stole it. That's right. I was going to call it NWP with puppets. Catchy, ain't it? And of course, I think George Lucas is going to sue somebody that when those lightsaber blood chronic.
The blunt man and chronic lightsaber battle. Absolutely.
Oh my God.
And then when he's talking about how he directs, I love this bit. I film the motherfucker. Then I yell, cut. Then I get the fuck out of here back to my trailer because I got more white girls in there than the first lifeboat off the Titanic. And they all want a part in my movie. And I got just the part for him.
He was on my list.
He was on my list,
but as an
funny.
angel. He was on my list as an angel from Dogma. He just didn't make it. Dude, his piece is going to be rattling around inside your armor. Like he's hilarious. That was back in the time when he was still like cutting edge and raw as fuck, and he's gone back to it since then. But like he was hilarious, dude.
Yeah,
and that part was just amazing. So quick and so small, but he was just fucking hilarious.
And he's coming to our city in the next couple of months, and Wayne's going, but I missed out on tickets, so I'm a bit gutted about that, to be honest.
Why don't you see if you could maybe smack Wayne around a little bit and take his ticket?
That's what she said. It's called sneaking in, Paul. We do it here in the States all the time, bro.
God. Not sure it will work at this place where he is, but anyway.
Get a big check.
We've had a change in hosts here on the countdown. Wayne is no longer with us.
Stop playing that. Stop playing that.
Every time Justin derails.
So if we're up to my number 2, I believe we are.
We are.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you that my number 2 is the salsa himself, Randall. That guy is the moment you see the first gag with Randall from Clerks, where he tricks the chick into paying him $10 just to let himself into work, is still to this day one of the best practical jokes. Man, I wanted to rent that movie right there in the window. Well, that one's mine. I bet you I get it first. That whole fucking thing is so fucking awesome. And like so many times through the movie, the guy who plays him, and I'm horrible with actor names when it comes to stuff like these guys, like the smaller characters. I don't remember the guy's name, but every time I see
Jeff
him
Anderson.
In one of those, you have that memory when it comes to the actors and stuff like that, which I applaud you for. I know that Nicolas Cage sucks, and outside of that, I know very little about it. But his character does such a good job, to me at least, of being the hilarious fucking just I don't give a shit about anything sort of a guy. And then every now and then he has these absolute clarity, like when he's talking to Caitlin about, if you break his heart again this time, I'll kill you. Stuff like that is like you see this honest, real part of this character, and just he's fucking hilarious through the whole goddamn arc. Every time you see him and Dante together on screen, it's just like, this is going to be funny as fuck.
Spot on. Works for me.
Yeah, I did shove him a little bit low on the list, I know, but I still do absolutely love Randall. And I mean, the even just in Clerks too, if you look at his character, the back and forth that he has with the kid. Like the back and forth arguments that he has with the kid about like Star Wars versus Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. Oh, that stuff. It's Kevin Smith encapsulating like the arguments of a generation versus another generation. It's just so great. And yeah, it's all Randall, and you can't take that away from him. Oh my God, my number 2, and I maybe I'll get shit for this. I don't care, but my number 2 is only on this list because of my number 1. So when you find out who my number 2 is, you'll know exactly who my number 1 is. My number 2 is Gil Hicks, who is also played by Brian O'Halloran in Mallrats. And this character is actually Bachelor number 3 during the dating game contest. I actually, in movie quote trivia that we just played, that was the last segment, I spun a little sound clip from him. And I love this character so much, I'm just going to play it again here.
First, I'd take you shopping to the stores you'd want to shop in.
And plus, I love his hair. His fucking hair. He's got like shoulder length hair.
Followed by some golfing. And then at night, we'd take in an opera, probably De Fledermaus. And then I'd follow it all up with a drive to a secluded beach where I'd pop on the radio and then we could slow dance till the sun came up.
That was the biggest load of crap I've ever heard. So like I said, if you understand who my number 2 is, you'll understand who my number 1 is, because it's literally because of that interaction that these are my number 1 and 2 characters. He's such a punching bag, and like I love every single line of dialogue he has. Like he's like, "Do I get to answer any more questions?" Gil, will you just shut the fuck up?
So Gil is better than Dante.
Yes, he is.
Randall.
Oh, by 1,000 times. Yes, I love him. I fucking love him.
The assassin chicks, Cardinal Glick. He's better than all of them.
Wait a minute. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. I just love him. I absolutely love his character. Like I said, it's only because of my number 1, which we'll get to in a moment.
Dude, if I could play,
I'll go back to you first.
I've got millions of clips over here. They just won't come across my line. Trust me. If I can drop in mine as well, I just don't know how to get them to play. Okay.
I just want to say I don't know what's been happening up and obviously what I missed in the live stream, but if this is the first time you two have clashed, thank God we got there, because I was a little bit worried that Shane and Nick would share the same airspace and get through a whole hour and not argue about something.
No, I tried to keep when we were going through the movie quote trivia, though. I tried to keep the throttle down and to go forward as quick as possible, because number 1, Dan just kept saying he hates The Shining through like a whole hour and a half of the show, and everybody wanted to jump on his back about it, and I'm like, God damn it, we don't have time for this shit. Let's go.
There's time to hate on Dan, but you guys should have had a whole hour to hate on each other
as well.
You guys should have had a whole hour. You should have scheduled it, Dan out of this thing. We scheduled Nick, you, and Shane argue with each other for the entire hour.
Shane and I have had our rows on his podcast. We've had him on the movie fantasy drafts that So I Married a Movie Geek does. I love Shane.
Yeah, but not on the live stream. No, but not on the live stream. And he's out.
My rows with him. We've already had those. It's already all said and done and whatever.
So okay, never mind.
Everybody knows I fucking hate Mad Max Fury Road. I think it's a beautifully shot movie. I think it's got great effects. I think it's got great cinematography. I just think that they loaded like 17 scripts into a shotgun and then
what's better than Shane? Beyond Thunderdome?
What the hell?
Beyond Thunderdome or Mad Max Fury Road?
No, I said Beyond Thunderdome or The Road Warrior.
Oh, The Road Warrior to me. I like The Road Warrior more than
I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. I was hoping that you were going to come back all seriously. Like, are you kidding? Are you serious? Sorry.
No.
I had to hashtag troll you a little bit just because.
Yeah, I was like, what? No, of course I like Road Warrior.
Yeah, well, there are those people out there that they like Beyond Thunderdome. I know Paul likes it.
What? Slow down, Tiger.
Paul loves it. You told me in a message that it was one of your favorite movies of all time, Paul. Sorry. You told me. I'm throwing shade, dude. I'm throwing shade.
Dear. All right. Well, we're on to number 1, and no surprise, my number 1 is just exactly what Shane's been talking about.
Here with my eye hole.
The eye hole man's not in a Kevin Smith movie, Paul. Come on.
Randall Graves. Randall, in a row. Everything Shane's said already. He is the quintessential Kevin Smith character. He is basically Kevin Smith's inner voice, which fucks with everybody. So that is why he is my favorite and will always be my favorite. I can't see Kevin Smith, particularly at this stage in his career, coming up with anybody who even gets close.
I agree.
Stunned everyone to silence with my very obvious number 1 choice.
It was a good choice, man. It was a damn good choice.
Randall moves. He moves everything, and every scene that he's a part of, he's just so fucking awesome. It just every time I go back and watch it, every time I watch Clerks, I'm like waiting for his character to make an appearance. Like I love Dante, but after like a couple minutes of Dante by himself, you're like, when the fuck is Randall getting here?
Yep. Always waiting for Randall to show back up.
Oh my god!
Because for the absurd shit that's about to come out of his mouth.
Exactly.
And he's a huge movie buff. Come on now.
Mostly Star Wars trivia. If we're gonna go to my number 1 overall, my number 1 is Jay himself. knowing, I actually listened to Jay and Silent Bob Get Old, which is actually the podcast where Jason Mewes and Kevin Smith sit down and they tell stories from their life, and they tell stories about, you know, the shitty movies that Kevin Smith's working on these days and all that stuff. But knowing what the actor went through and all that stuff, it has nothing to do with this list as far as the top characters, but Jason Mewes himself, like just the actor and the character and the guy, great person, like went through tons of shit, almost fucking died from heroin, and has turned his life around to the point where now he's got a baby girl and he's producing and he's directing and all this shit. And it's all basically just due to the fact that he got his shit together and somebody like Kevin Smith was there to actually believe in him. So besides all that, though, Jay is one of those characters that, to me, he takes over whatever scene he's a part of. All your attention goes to that guy. He's like Leonardo DiCaprio. As soon as you see him on screen, you immediately gravitate to him.
Fucking love
Johnny Depp is the same sort of way. Gary Oldman is the same. Well, Gary Oldman is and isn't. Gary Oldman's one of those kind of disappears. You're not sure if it's Gary Oldman or not. Like I'm looking at you, True Romance.
Yeah, it depends on the performance,
But when you get a guy like Jason Mewes, as soon as he steps into a scene, you are focused on him. His character takes over that scene, and he was born to be Jay. He was born to be that character. And yes, there are plenty of times his character grates on me and annoys the absolute fuck out of me, but that just means that Jason Mewes is doing a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I could definitely agree with that. Yeah. I don't know. He's just lower on the list. Actually, he's my honorable mentions. He's just in my honorable mentions.
He's not even on your list.
He just gets too grating for me from time to time. He really, really does.
And Tom Hardy driving around for 2 hours without talking doesn't?
God,
come on. Max.
Tom Hardy does a whole lot of talking in that one other movie when he sits in a car the whole time. He's great in that.
That is a great movie. I love that movie. We
sat there and watched it.
We did. It's a great
movie. That's literally the whole film is just Tom Hardy sitting in a car and talking.
Have you guys heard what he's supposed to be starring in soon?
Venom. Yeah.
Venom.
I heard that yesterday and I was like, oh my God.
I would hope we would, because we post all the newest movie news and trailers on the time. Social media, that is. And I'm extremely excited for that, honestly, because he's a huge fan of the character. And regardless of all the Sony hate, because I don't give a shit about that, I mean, I'm just hopeful that they come up with a good idea on what to do with the character. Hardy being in that role just makes me excited to see it, because he's a great actor. And I think he can do a lot if they give him something to do. I have a feeling that we're not going to be able to see him speaking much in Dunkirk. So a lot of times he gets roles where he's not talking all that much, and a lot of it is just a physical performance. A lot of his mannerisms, his eyes, which he's very good at. But I think that he'll be a great Venom. I'm super excited for it, just because of the fact that he was cast. I was expecting them to cast some mediocre pile of shit in the lead, but
Hayden Christensen,
that's great
Venom.
news. Man, that kid gets a lot of hate, but it is what it is.
It was the script and the director. It wasn't him.
Perhaps he's wondering why he would shoot a man before throwing him out of a plane. The CIA guy continues to be the greatest character in any movie ever, second only to Lieutenant Eckhart in Batman. Oh my God! My number one, and I mean, this should be very, very easy to telegraph based on who my number two is Brody fucking Bruce, man.
I love the smell of commerce in the morning.
Oh my God! Look, it's the asshole from Fashionable Mail.
What, you want to say something? Yeah, about a million things, but I can't express myself monosyllabically enough for you to understand them all. Asshole. Prick. Fuck you.
the hell was that all about?
It's a jerk from Fashionable Mail, this upscale wannabe shop on the second floor.
I mean, I literally, one of my sons is actually named after this character. My older son.
Are you
is
serious?
Well,
That's
he is.
awesome.
It's a long story, but it's a very, very good friend of mine who we watched Kevin Smith movies together. We absolutely loved Mallrats. That's why it has such a special place in my heart, was because one of my best friends. But he passed away back in 1999 when my girlfriend at the time was pregnant with my eldest son, and I named him Brody in honor of this character, who is a character that we both loved so much together. But I mean, more than that, it's more than that why he's my number one. But I mean, literally, he is just the funniest fucking thing. Literally every scene he's fucking in, I just absolutely love it. I mean, the scene when they're in the elevator after he bangs Renee, and then he's sitting there, he's dancing, he's like, yeah, that was romantic, right? Oh my god, literally everything he does in the movie. And then of course the game show at the end when he's trading barbs back and forth with Gil Hicks. I love this character so much. Oh my god, he's just brilliant. Oh look, it's Willem. Oh my god! But yeah, I love this character.
List, honestly, this is a list, honestly, where if we were focused for just an hour to do it, there were bickering back and forth. But I honestly can't fault you, because this is the character that spoke to you the most out of the whole thing. It by no means do I agree whatsoever with the placement that you have him on your list. Just because for me he's number 14 or so, but it definitely speaks to you. It makes you this character spoke to you the most out of all the ones in the movies.
Yep.
So I think, I mean, I can definitely fall in line with that. Like I said, he's 14 or 15 for me. He's definitely an honorable mentions.
Oh my god, I love this. Before we get to, actually, we don't even have time for honorable mentions, really, because guys, guess what it's time for?
My girlfriend sucked 37 dicks
In a row?
We are going to move on from the top 10 Askewniverse characters. I want to thank Paul from the Countdown and Shane from Now That I'm Older very, very much. Two of the, of all the Potter and Family shows, of all the shows that I've been exposed to since I became a podcaster, these two have always been at the top of my rotation, and it's because they're absolutely amazing shows. Even if you only listen to those shows because Kenny and Wayne are amazing and the actual hosts suck donkey balls, it doesn't matter. But in all seriousness, Paul and Shane are both amazing guys. They're both absolutely fantastic. They've been huge supporters of the Epic Film Guys ever since we met them, and they're just amazing shows. So please check them out, nowthatimolder.com, and the Countdown movies and TV at podomatic.com. Still, Paul, you guys still don't have a website, do you?
Nah, it's coming.
Be prepared. Be prepared, ladies and gentlemen. Be prepared, because coming this fall, Paul and I have something.
I'm here to tell you that you're probably going to find out as you go out there that you're not going to amount to jack squat.
There it is.
Actually, it's something that you'll amount to being dead, something spine-tingling, something terrifying. Paul and I have something in the back of our sleeves that we're going to pull out come fall season 2017. Be prepared. Be prepared.
Looking forward to that one.
To get laid, and I don't score much. I got a little dick. It's pathetic.
It's hidden way up in the sleeve.
Is that sound clip for Dan? Or
that sound clip
thank you so much for
Dan.
having. Well, thank you so much for having us on, and all the very best. It's been a lot of fun to be a part of this, and you guys are doing a wonderful thing, and you guys, of course, have an amazing show, as everyone who is listening knows. So I will be tuning into the rest of the live stream, so enjoy, guys.
Thank you very much for being here, Paul. Thank you for bookending us, because he was here when we started, and he's here as we close in on the finish line.
Total trooper, man.
Absolutely
Total
appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Welcome, guys. Look after yourselves. Cheers.
Later, Paul.
Later, man.
All right, yeah, Shane, you fucking rock too. Where is
Thank
JD?
you very much, man.